Hi, welcome back. Welcome to Glue Book Tag 2020. I was tagged by my lovely friend Laura, the Jersey Crafter, and this is a challenge that was created by Kay's Beautiful Struggle. And everyone that I mention in this video, I will link in the description box below. So the challenge is you answer 11 questions. So I figured I would take you on a glue book journey, a glue book experience with me while I answer the questions. Now I am doing, this is kind of a twofold challenge video. I'm doing a challenge in this video right now by Linda's Mixed Up Mess. And she's a new YouTube artist I just found. And in her challenge, it is to create one page for your journal, or it's either a journal page or an envelope. Create one page from one magazine. I thought, great challenge. So you guys know that I am purging, right? Trying to clean out my space, trying to clean out my crafty mess. And in the corner is a pile of Nat Geo magazines, and that's what I'm using right now. The funny thing is the pile consists of things I've already harvested. So this is a great way to go back and look through again. Sometimes I harvest things initially just as they are, and then other times, and then I let them go. And other times I harvest, do an initial harvest, leave a pile, and then go back and revisit it. So this is one of those piles that's been sitting in the corner. So now I'm revisiting. Okay, let's get to the questions. Okay, question number 1 for Glue Book Tag 2020. Number 1, how many glue books, magazine journals do you have? Oh my goodness. That's probably a tough one. I would say at least a dozen. I probably have a few more than that, but at least a dozen in various stages, right? Some complete and some not. Number 2, which book is your favorite? That's a little difficult for me because I would probably say the Harbrace College book that I work in all the time, that I've been working in for a couple of years, is probably my favorite, but it is too big to travel with. And when I was traveling, I have smaller books, index card size books, 4 by 6 inch books. So I would say I probably my favorite book is the one I'm working in at that moment. Okay, what is my favorite page? That's question number 3. My favorite page, well, in that Harbrace book, I definitely have some that are my favorite. But what I find for glue booking, I use it sort of as a decompression or a stress reliever, or just something just to get my mind off of whatever I need to just let go of. So I would say that my favorite pages sometimes come out of whatever it is that I'm going through at that time, if that makes sense. So I don't know. Probably didn't answer the question, but that's the best I can do. Number 4, what are my favorite magazines to harvest? I would probably say my favorites are the Shade Store catalog, Restoration Hardware catalog. I like those. I like patterning, and those tend to have a lot more patterns and more abstract things in them that I feel like I can use in how I envision whatever I'm doing. But saying that, if it's a fashion magazine, I love Harper's Bazaar. The pages are really good. I like Wine Spectator for page quality if I'm going to make a journal out of magazine pages. Those are really fun to paint on. To make a magazine journal, probably an Oprah magazine. I like the way that magazine goes together. Okay, so number 5. How do you store your images and how are they organized? Well, I did a live YouTube hop a few weeks ago, sponsored by Meridel Abrams from the Marriottier. And I'll link that video in the description below. And I discuss how I organize magazine pages or images and collage fodder. I would say if I'm working in a hardback book, I make a pocket in the back of it. I also have notebooks and binders, like 3-ring binders that I have page protectors in, and some that I have Ziploc bags in that I store the images. Number 6. Do you have themed books? Me, not really. I say I have done like recipe magazine journals where I've glue booked, collaged in them, and put, typed recipes. But for the most part, I think mine are just sort of like a free for all. Number 7, do you have plans to start a new book? And if so, what size and will it be a theme? Well, the book I'm working in right now is brand new. It is a magazine journal that I made from a Wired magazine. And I might just keep following Linda's Mixed Up Mess Challenge and creating a page from one magazine until I end it. And it's a pretty small journal. I think it has about 40 pages in it. The size is a standard size of a magazine cut in half. So let's see. Well, number 8, where do I get my magazines? Okay, I collect magazines from Recycle Bank. I also get magazines from the library. I get magazines from our recycling center. I also pick up, I order catalogs online, Restoration Hardware, the Shade Store catalog. There's several of those types of catalogs that I order. And that's probably where I get most of the magazine images I use. Number 9, what is my favorite glue to use? Probably Elmer's Extreme or Uhu. But saying that, if I'm not going to paint on top of them or do any wet media, then I just use inexpensive school glue. And that's what I'm using here. Whenever back to school sales are always really good and you can get some great deals on glue. Besides glue, number 10, besides glue and scissors, do you use other tools or supplies in your books? Absolutely. I use paint, watercolor paint, acrylic paint, Posca pens, Sharpie markers. Sometimes I even use book pages, especially if I'm making a magazine journal, I may go ahead and put like a standard Reader's Digest book page as a base on top and then start my gluing, especially if I'm going to paint or stuff on top. Do things. Magazine pages warp when you paint on them, so you get the idea. And let's see, the bonus question, number 11. What advice do you give a newbie? My advice to a newbie is just do it. Don't think you need some crazy expensive supplies. Don't think you need something special. As you can see right here, I'm using recycled magazines. I made the journal out of a magazine, and I am gluing in a magazine and using the magazine images. Don't think you need to go buy anything or any special tool. Just start. You'll find your style. You'll find your niche. Just begin. I think so many times we get caught up on watching videos and we see people that have special things and we think, oh, I need that before I can do this. I say just begin, because you'll find out soon enough, is this for you? Do you enjoy doing it? How are you using this art to benefit you? For me, I use it as just a really fun way to just take 5 minutes in my day to let go, to spend time creating. It gives me an opportunity. There's no right or wrong. Nobody needs to see it. Yeah, no special technique needed. Just go for it. That's my advice. So, let me see. Now it's my turn to tag. And I am going to tag 2 artists. One of my favorite glue book artists, Debbie Cork, and one of my other favorite artists, Vicki Brown from Messy Table Studios. So go on over and check out their videos. And until next time, as always, from my heart to your heart, I'm sending you so much aloha. Take care.